What is a social venture? Well, to begin with, the name social and venture is combining two words. A business venture that demonstrates some level of social responsibility. So what is social responsibility? Well, that is in essence your civic duty to do or make decisions based upon what benefits society, or doing what is best for society in any given situation or decision. So if you combine this concept of social responsibility into running a business venture, then you're simply stating that the objective of the business venture is to better whatever the environment is for those in the immediate society. Okay, so that's a social business venture or a social venture. Now, many of you may equate a social venture with a nonprofit. A nonprofit is simply a government-recognized tax classification for a business entity when that business entity fits within one of the designated classes that the government has said ultimately benefits society. So in a way, the nonprofit business is, well, while mainly a tax classification, the government classifies it in that way simply because it meets the characteristics of what the government has historically deemed a benefit to society. Now, that is always subject to question or doubt by many people because what the government deems as a benefit to society may not be the same understanding that everyone would have. For example, the National Football League for many years was a nonprofit entity. The NCAA, which is the college sports league or primary college sports league, is a nonprofit, and many would argue that it has such a commercial purpose that perhaps it should not be considered a nonprofit, as it seems that the commercial benefit to schools and to other related entities outweighs the social benefit that it has of allowing students to play sports. So with that being said, a nonprofit roughly aligns with a social venture, but not in everyone's mind. There are some other designations. Many states have begun recognizing what is called a benefit corporation, and this is a business entity form that in order to form that type of business entity, you must meet the state requirements for social benefit or value. You must account for your activities and how they lead towards some form of public benefit. And if you do, the state allows you to form a business entity that for most purposes has all of the characteristics of a normal corporation, but also has different reporting requirements and accountability requirements with regards to these social benefit standards. And then there's a related concept. There are private organizations that will certify a business as being for a public good or providing a social benefit. The most well-known is B-Lab certification, which is B Corp status. And this isn't an actual business entity form the way a benefit corporation is, and it's not a tax election status the way a nonprofit entity status is. Rather, it's simply a business entity certifying that your venture has a public benefit and meets certain standards as outlined by that certifying organization. So by and large, these are the concepts that you see related to a social venture. But in summary, a social venture is simply a business venture that has a primary objective or purpose of providing some benefit to society. Can that business also provide a profit to its owners the way a for-profit entity of any sort would? Well, yes. That is not necessarily the case with a nonprofit. So the terms nonprofit and social venture are not synonymous. Likewise, a benefit corporation and a B Corp are slightly different, but incorporate once again the concept of social venture in their definition or objectives. So with that being said, you now understand what is a social venture.